Hello everybody and welcome to my first video on this channel, and it's all about photography. I am Karl and this is K Photography, and in the very first episode I would just like to explain exactly what's in my camera bag. As you saw in that brief little snippet at the beginning of the video, you will see everything laid out on the bed here where I am sitting right now, and I will explain everything that I've got here and what's going to be in my camera bag. Now my camera bag itself is this one right here, which you can't see off the screen, but it is definitely new, brand new. I haven't used it yet, so everything you see today will be going into that if I will require it to go in there. So let's get into the video, and let's start with the first piece of equipment, and that is what we are recording on today. It is an iPhone XR. That is my choice of recording. I don't have anything else, special. I don't even have a video recorder or anything like that that can do anything particular. I am a novice photographer. I have really done no experience in photography, and this is my journey from photography from amateur, novice, all the way up to something that is reasonably okay, I guess. So yeah, let's start with the first item on today's list, and that is going to be the tripod. You won't be able to see the tripod, but it sits in this lovely carry case here, and I do apologize for the overexposure back there, but I can't seem to get it any better than what it is. But this is the Cobra Eclipse 53 bag that the tripod sits in, and it is sitting there. It is a very, very old tripod, proper ancient equipment. And why I say that is because my father-in-law, who sadly passed away last year, he had this tripod, and it is something he bought years and years ago, probably 30 years ago, probably even longer than that, I'm not too sure. But it is an extremely old tripod. You can get loads of better tripods these days, but it's got a quick release, it's got tilt action on there, it's got everything that the modern tripods have except for the ball mechanism. So for the age of it, it's pretty high standard for the tripod of its day. So let's have a look and think, what else can we start with? Let's start with the bag, the piece de resistance, the camera bag. I do apologise on this one, but this is a K&F concept. It is a beautiful bag. It opens up at the rear here, as we can just get into these little things here, open up here, and we will have what we would call the beauty of the camera bag. As you can see, it's got these little zips here that keeps everything nice and safe. It's got all bits and pieces in there. There's a cleaning kit that comes with it that can go down the bottom. It's got spaces for all your gubbins and everything else that a normal camera bag would carry. Now this has got loads of little bits and pieces. This is the back piece with all the nice soft wrappings and support that you would need. Unfortunately, I haven't tested it yet to give it feelability, but as you can see, it's still got the tags on. So yeah, in the front here, or the back should I say, it's got more zips that you can open up. That brings into putting your laptop or your iPad or any form of tablet you can fit in there, and some other bits and pieces, iPhone, any phone. And it's also got at the top here a little section for your earphones to pop out of, so you can keep all your gubbins in there nice and safe, and you can listen to music round through this little hole here. So let's move that. There is also a place here for, as you can see, a little symbol here for the tripod to sit into. Get your tripod in there, it goes up there, it gets strapped on with this little strap icon, not icon, this little strap piece here. And we don't really have one on the other side, but we do have other pockets and bits and pieces on the other side of the bag there. That is pretty much the bag, and that's what all this stuff that's behind me is going to go into. Well, only the stuff that we really need, but we're going to try and put as much in there as possible. So let's start with something else. Let's start with the camera. The camera is a Nikon. Lovely Nikon. So the Nikon camera, this is a D3200. It is quite a few years old now. I got it as a Christmas present probably around about 5-6 years ago, probably even a bit longer than that, probably about 8 years ago maybe. And it is pretty much a fantastic entry-level camera, and I've been shooting with this now in the last couple of months, on and off here and there, just to get some bits and pieces and start learning how this little piece of equipment works. And to be fair, it does some really good shots. And I'll have my Instagram listed in the description down below, so you can go and have a look at my shots on the Instagram. I've also got a Facebook page, so that will probably be listed down below, and you can go and have a look and see what kind of photography, pictures and photographs this little thing produces. It's a 24.2 megapixel camera, I believe, and it does pretty good for the age and condition of it. It's not super brilliant, it's not fantastic in all its bits and pieces. There's loads of videos on YouTube out there where you can go and have a look and see what kind of specs this thing has. It's not the best. I'd really love to have something brilliant than this, but you know, money doesn't grow on trees, so we have to settle with what we got, and I'm quite happy with this. It's a great little camera to start off with. So with the camera, you got the SD card goes into the side. I have a 64 gig Extreme Pro, I think, inside the card, inside the camera, and I've also got two here of 16 gigs, something a little bit small, something just to take up a few shots here and there, nothing spectacular, just a little backup cards if I run out of space with the 64. It takes an EL14 battery that comes with the camera. I have two extra batteries that I bought on Amazon. These are a little bit stronger than the one that comes with the camera, but I haven't had the chance to use these because I've not run out of battery power with this particular battery that's in the camera at the moment. But yeah, I've got some extra ones just in case you run out while you're out there doing any photo shoots. You can't not have an extra battery or two. So we have some extra batteries. Got two of those, and they go with a nice little charger that comes with it. You can charge two at once, which is fantastic. So that was quite cheap. I think it's about £15, something like that. I can't remember now, but that's something to charge your batteries, because you know, battery chargers, you need them. Everything gets charged. Your actual electric bill shoots right up when you start charging all your equipment. So to go with the SD cards that I've got something I haven't even undone yet. It's still attached to its wrappings, and that is a Hammer Digital video memory card case. Now I decided to get, let's pull this out. We don't need that no more, that one's gone. But I've got this little SD card here. It takes 4 mini micro SD cards, and it takes 4 normal size SD cards. Now I've got the little leather ones. I like the smell of the leather, even though it's plastic leather. I still like the smell of it, and it does a fantastic job. It's all magnetized, so it just shuts up really good, really snaps. And these little holdings here, I'd rather have something I could slide in instead of pushing down, because I've seen horror stories where you push your little memory card in and they break, or they snap, the sides come off and the insides of your memory card are spewing out. Your photos are running away and leaking down the drain. We don't want none of that, so I've got some little slidey in ones just to make it that little bit more secure and safer, so I don't have any of those accidents. What else do we have? We have, luckily, oh, we don't have that. That's just a cover, a little cover. We don't want a cover. So yeah, I've got this thing. I've not used it yet. It is a remote control. The Nikons on its earlier stages had little remote controls. They changed that with the, I think it was a D3500 when they brought out a snap bridge. But remote, you're always going to need one at some point. I've got 2 of them. I haven't used them yet. Not even got that far into my photography to even stand there and take selfies. Boop, boop. And no, I haven't got that far yet, but we have the little remotes here. What else do we have down here? We have some kits that's come along. I bought extra bits and pieces. Newer, do some amazing stuff. So we have a little softbox to go over our flash. I'll show you the flash in a minute. and we've got a little softbox thing for going to a speed light flash. We've also got a side mounting bounce card which just sits on the side. It's got a silver side and it's got a white side, so that's what we've got there, just sit on the flash there. We also have some other bits and pieces around. Oh, let's just go with the flash. Just to bounce on that, we've got the flash. We've got the Speedlight newer T560 Speedlight. It's a manual one. It doesn't have TTL or anything like that. Not that I really understand how TTL works, but I think it's through the lens. But yeah, this one's just a manual one. It's a basic one. It's cheaper chips, and I thought, why not just test it out, get some usage out of it, and maybe we can learn exactly how to use this and get on with it. So got the flash. It does a fantastic job. It takes 4 AA batteries, and so far what I've said of it and what I've used it for, it blinds the hell out of you. But yeah, we'll get to using that sometime, and we'll work out exactly how to do our light with one of these things. So let's move on to a little mini tripod. We've got a little mini tripod. It is a Manfrotto. We've got a Manfrotto ball head design. Push a little button there and it moves around like so, which is good. And once you release a button, the head stays there real firm and you really can't move it. It's quite a good little tripod. Again, haven't used it, but we will at some point. Always comes handy to have a little tripod that is stuck out there and you've got nowhere to stick it, but you've got ledges and everything you can use. So it's a good little tripod, that one. So what else we got? Oh yes, we have these amazing things, again by Newer. These are all ND filters. I've got 52mm ones and 58mm ones. I will tell you exactly why in a second. But we've got 2 sets of sizes, 52 and 58. That one's the 58, that one's the 52. If you don't know what an ND filter is, it's something that allows you to affect the light that comes into the lens. The darker they are, the more light it stops coming in, which allows you to, when it's really bright and the sun's out there, allows you to take better photos without it being like that window out there. Proper blase in that light and overwashes the back. So that is something that an ND filter really does excel in. And there's multitudes of ND filters and different sizes. You can get one that does a whole lot, but there's plenty of videos out there about ND filters that you might want to go and have a look at. Right, in here, I'm not going to get it out, it's just a pain in the ass to put back in, but it is a 5 or 6 in one of those bounce cards. It's one of those big ones that fold out. You have to twist it to get it back into its case. I might just try and get it out and show you about exploding on me, but it's one of these things that when you fold it up, it comes out. It's 5 in 1. It changes colors: silver, gold, black, white, you name it. It's all got one of those. So it's a reflector, 5 in 1 or 6 in 1 reflector. They are fantastic things, reflecting light from places where it's a bit dark. There's light coming from somewhere else. You can reflect that light back onto the subject and give it a nicer, natural look when there's no light for you to actually get any light from. So we've got one of those. We have also got over here, oh, this is another little carry case. This is what I've got. It didn't come with the camera, but I got it as a present with the camera. And it has all these little holes and everything else, just for a quick package when you don't want to take everything or a big bag with you and travel a bit lighter. This is fantastic. I have in there batteries from Speedlight, and there's a few pockets and on the sides and on the front, and you've got a little tiny netty bit at the front up the top here, which is fantastic. It holds a reasonable amount, not a lot, but it takes what you need. If you need some stuff, it will hold what you need when you go on those journeys. And let's have a look, what else have we got over here? Let's get on to another cleaning kit. There's a few bits and pieces in this cleaning kit. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much is in here. I haven't really gone through it, but there is a lot of stuff in here. So there's these little tiny things that you can end up wiping your screen down and wiping your lenses down and all that. You got a little blower in here and other bits, a little brush, 2 little brushes, extending one inside that packet. You know what? let's get in there. Let's have a look. We haven't had a look at these properly. Like I say, I haven't really done much with my camera, but I've taken some photographs, and yeah, noisy. We've got one of these little things. A lot of people recommend you get one of these ones. We can just push it in and push it out. These are apparently really good, so we've got one of those. It's like a little pen. You can hook it up onto anything, and it does what it says on the tin, cleans. And there's a nice little thing. I think on the back one you got another one, a little tiny one right there that gives you the little squidgy bit in the little type areas. So yeah, it's one of these magnificent cleaning kits with a little tiny beautiful. I love these little cleaning kits. They get into everything, and it's not just your camera they can clean. They get into anything that's nice, tiny, small. Very good piece of equipment, and all comes in a nice handy pack. And I'm not sure where I got this from, but it's called Cam Kicks. So yeah, Cam Kicks. Go and have a look at Cam Kicks. Maybe you can find your cleaning equipment there for your camera. Right, what else? Let's get on to the lenses. We will start with the two kit lenses that come with the camera. Now, let's get this on with the show. We have the trusty 18 to 55, the normal bog standard kit lens that comes along with the Nikons. It always seems to come along with an 18 to 55. And this is a DXVR. They might not be the best lenses in the world, but for what I'm doing at the moment, they are certainly doing a cracking job. Now, 1855 VR. VR means vibration reduction, which is fantastic to have. It's built into the lens, and because the camera body doesn't have that, so we have vibration reduction on the 18 to 55 kit lens. And on the other one, we have the 55 to 300 kit lens. Now, this is a beast of a lens. I haven't used it that much. I think I've taken one photo with it. I can't be 100% sure because I haven't taken that many photos with it. But this is also a VR, so it's also got vibration reduction within this lens. 55 to 300, and to be honest, 55 300 is a great zoom to have. And yeah, like I say, I think I've taken one photo with it, and it's on my Instagram, so go and have a look at that. I don't know, it looks like it's got a green crane in the distance, and it was probably taken a good half a mile away from where we were, maybe even further, not quite sure. It's right over a body of water. So yeah, go and have a look at that, and you want to see how good this takes the pictures at a nice zoom telephoto, not telephoto, but a nice long distance away with this beautiful bit of lens kit. I say, don't normally get vibration reduction with a kit lens, not something this big, so that was quite a surprise to me. And the piece de la resistance, we've got one other item, but the piece de la resistance we have is the 50mm. It's a Yongnuo 50mm camera lens. It's cheap as chips. It's cost me 50 odd quid, and it's better than nothing when the original Nikon lens is £200 or so. So with that is said, this is probably the best cheap version of a 50mm, and to be honest, it does a very good job. Yes, it's hit and miss whether or not it gets into the nice crisp sharpness of a photo, but it does the job, and you can get some really good photos from this for a cheap price. You just have to persevere sometimes just to get that focus is set in right, because the autofocus part of this lens isn't the best, but it's better than anything else you can get for 50 odd quid. So yeah, you don't really notice it that much when you do get the sharp pictures out of it, which is probably a 70 to 80% of the time. I do normally get good sharp photos from this. I've not used it hugely, but I've taken probably about 20-30 pictures with this lens, and I really like it. It's a 1.8, and I love it. Brilliant lens, probably better than the other two I've got when it comes to letting the light in because of that 1.8 aperture. And I'm going to enjoy taking as many photos as I can with this 50mm. Like the 18-55 is really good lens, and the 50mm just lets that little bit more light in and gives you some proper good focused pictures now and again with that nice blurry background excelling itself. Now I am hoping to get out there and do some street photography or out in the wilds taking photography with a mate of mine or anybody else that wishes to come along, and I would like to film that as I go along, a point of view kind of photography. So I've got a really cheap years old Cam Park, not quite a Hero or DJI Osmo thing that they're out today, but we do have what we would suggest. Let me just take it out of here. It's an action cam, you know, those action cams that you see people wear. It is a little action cam right there. Let me try and get that a bit. It's a Cam Park Extreme Ultra HD 4K. I don't know if you can see that. It's an old one. There's newer ones out that are better than this, and I'll probably say if you want something, go for something reasonably better than this kind of thing. But it's going to get me out there just to try out and see what kind of video and point of view stuff we can do. So that is basically what's in my camera bag. And yeah, well, that's what's going to be in my camera bag. So that is it for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed this little insight on my start of my journey from novice to amateur to better amateur, if you want to say. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey, and I hope you stick around and follow me on this journey and see where it leads me. So yeah, so until then, have a good time, take it easy, and I will see you out and about somewhere, hopefully someday in the future, and we will be happy to see what the next video brings. So for now, take care, see you soon, and as always, have fun, stay safe. Bye for now.